Hello. Only 20 participants are is there. 21. What's about the remaining persons? Okay. Today we discuss about the already we discussed about the elasticity of demand in the last class. Just revise this topic: elasticity of demand. What is the elasticity of demand? Okay. Elasticity of demand is generally defined as the responsiveness or sensitiveness of the demand to a given change in the price of product. Okay. It's also Alfred Marshall in his book is defined simply. It says that the principles of economics in measuring the elasticity of demand is two variables are considered. There are demand and that second one is the determinants of demand. The definition of the elasticity of demand is the percentage change in the quantity of demand is caused by the percentage change in demand determinants is known as the elasticity of demand. That means the variation of the demand is proportionate change in the determinants of the demands. That means income, price, advertisement, these type of causes its variation of the demand. That is called as elasticity of demand. It is very important aspects in economic theory. You know that demand will change because most of the time price. It may be person to person, place to place, various transactions. So these changes of demand based on the various factors, elasticity of demand. Where elasticity of demand, the word borrowed from the physics, one variable to another variable difference and changes will be fine. The changes is called elasticity of demand. These are the types of elasticity of demand. There are four important kinds of elasticity of demand. First one is the price elasticity of demand. Second one is the income elasticity of demand. Third one is the cross elasticity of demand, and fourth one is the advertisement or promotional elasticity of demand. Price elasticity of demand, already we discussed about this topic. Price elasticity, the definition of the elasticity is the change in the demand, the proportionate change in the price. It depends on the price. Okay, the price of the commodity is increasing in the time, the demand will be decreasing. Okay, if a price is decreasing, the demand of the product or commodity is increasing. The inversely proportional relation in the demand and the price, that is called as a price elasticity of demand. Okay, the best example, already we know that price elasticity of demand. Okay, and second one is the income elasticity of demand. What is the relation between the demand and income? This is the proportional change of the demand. If income is increasing, the demand is increasing. If income is decreasing, the demand is decreasing. Because the customer income is increasing, they have to buy the more products. In that time, the products having the more demand. Okay, this relation is the does the income and demand. Okay, the coming to this point, income elasticity of demand is nothing but the demand, the variation of the demand is a proportionate change in the income, that is called as a income elasticity of demand. And third one is the cross elasticity of demand. What is the cross elasticity of demand? Cross elasticity, they compare the two products, product A and product B. Okay, the product A price is decreasing, that affected on the product B, that is called as a cross elasticity of demand. Okay, the price of the demand is variation, it is proportionate change in the change in the price of the other product, that is called as a cross elasticity of demand. And fourth one is the advertisement or promotional elasticity of demand. In this, advertisement cost is based on the advertisement cost, the demand of the demand is varied, that is called as a advertisement or promotional elasticity of demand. See, this already we discussed about these four types: price elasticity of demand, and income elasticity of demand, and the third one is the cross elasticity of demand, and fourth one is the advertisement elasticity of demand. Okay, that coming to this definition, price elasticity of demand is the percentage change in the quantity demanded to the percentage change in price. Is called as price elasticity of demand, where it is represented the EP. Okay, price elasticity of demand, it is represented the EP, that is called as percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change in the price. It is also equal to Q2 minus Q1 by P2 minus P1, where Q is the original price, original demand before changing of the demand. It is represented the Q1, and after changing the demand, that is represented the Q2, where P is the price. After before changing, it is represented the P1, and P2 is the after changing of the price, that is called as it represented the P2, where delta Q is the different changes of the demand, or difference between the old demand and new demand, and also delta P is the change in demand, that is called as a difference between the price, new product, new price and old price. And next one is the income elasticity of demand. The percentage change in quantity demanded to the percentage change in the income is called as income elasticity of demand. It is represented by EY. The definition of this one, percentage change in quantity demanded to percentage change in income. Okay, where EP equal to okay, it is represented the Q2 minus Q1 by Y2 minus Y1, where delta Q, it is represented the delta Q is the difference between the old demand and the new demand, and the delta Y is the difference between the old income and new income, Y2 minus Y1. Okay, where Q1 is the old demand, or before changing the particular demand, and Q2 is the new demand, and Y also old Y1 also it represented the old income, and Y2 is the new income. And coming to the next definition is the cross elasticity of demand. The proportionate change in quantity demanded of a commodity to given proportionate change in price of the related goods is called cross elasticity of demand. That means the price of the particular product or product A, it's affected on the product B. That means if price is increasing in particular product A, the affected, that means the demand of the product B is increasing. Okay, this type of relation is does the cross elasticity of demand. See this one definition: percentage change in demand of for X, the proportionate the percentage change in the price of Y, particular product. Okay, product X and product Y. Okay, it is represented by EXY. The cross elasticity of demand is represented by EXY equal to QX2 minus QX1 by PY2 minus PY1. Okay, where delta QX is the change in demand of commodity of X, and delta PY is the change in price of commodity Y, and QX is the old demand of commodity X, and PY is the old price of the commodity X. Okay, This is called as a cross elasticity of demand. And next one is the advertisement elasticity of demand. Advertisement elasticity of demand, that means the promoting cost is increasing, that time it's also increasing the demand of the particular product. Okay, this is called as a the relation between the demand and advertisement cost or promotion cost. Okay. um, See this one definition: the proportionate change in quantity demanded to the proportionate change advertisement expenditures is known as advertisement elasticity of demand, where it is represented the EA, advertisement elasticity of demand, equal to percentage change in quantity demanded to percentage change in advertisement expenditures. Okay, where delta Qx is the change in demand of commodity X and delta Py is the price of commodity. And similarly, Qx is the old demand of the commodity X and Py is the old price of the commodity of Y. Okay, coming to this point, the various types is defined in the price elasticity of demand, that is the perfect elasticity of demand, and second one is the perfect inelasticity of demand, and relative elasticity of demand, and relative inelasticity of demand, and unitary elasticity of demand. Based on the prices, price and relation between the price and demand, these types are classified. Okay, perfect elasticity, perfect inelasticity, relative elasticity, relative inelasticity, and unitary inelasticity of demand. Now we're coming to this point: perfect elasticity of demand. Okay, perfect elasticity of demand, it simply it represented the E equal to infinite. That means the quantity of demand is varied. Okay, but the price of the product is the constant, is not varied. Okay, that is called as perfect elasticity of demand. Um, that means the example in summer cool items are more demanded, but the price of the particular product is not varied. Okay, that is the example of perfect elasticity of demand. Okay, consumers have infinite demand at a particular price and none at all at an even slightly higher than this given price is known as perfect elasticity of demand. Here the slope of the curve is horizontal, that's why they are E equal to infinite. The quantity of demand is varied up to infinite, but the price of the demand is the not varied. The price is not varied of the particular commodity. And next one is the perfect inelasticity of demand. It is simply says that E equal to 0. That means the quantity of demand is constant, but the price is varied. See this there, this where a change in price, however large, causes no change in the quantity demanded. The quantity of product is not changing. Okay, that is called as perfect inelasticity of demand. Okay, that means simply every necessary goods purchasing, it's not dependent upon the price. Okay, that is called as a example of perfect inelasticity of demand. And third one is the relative elasticity of demand. See this, it is relative elasticity of demand is simply represented the E greater than 1. That means the quantity of demand is the price of the quantity, the price is slightly changing, it drastically changes the particular quantity of the product. Okay, that is called as relative elasticity of demand. See this one, the percentage change in quantity demand is greater than the percentage change in price. The elasticity of demand is called relative elastic. In this case, the elasticity of demand is set greater than 1, E greater than 1. Okay, and, best example, gold. Okay, already we discussed about this topic. Gold is small, if any change in the small price of the gold, uh, the demand of the that particular product is increasing. Next one is the relative elasticity of demand. That means slightly if change in the price, slightly variation in the quantity of demand. That is called relative inelasticity of demand. It represented the E less than 1. Okay, the percentage change in quantity demanded is less than that of the percentage change in the price. In this case, the elasticity of demand is said to be less than 1. Okay, the graph represented the variation of the quantity Q1, 0 to Q1, 0 to Q2, where the price is the price also 0 to P1 and 0 to P2. The variation of the price is slightly varied, but the quantity of demand also slightly varied. Okay, that is called as a relative inelasticity of demand. Example of these uh, sorry uh, okay, next one is the unitary elasticity of demand. Unitary elasticity demand is the variation of the price is proportionately changing the quantity of the demand is called as a unitary elasticity of demand. It represented the E equal to 1. Okay, the percentage change in quantity demanded is equal to the percentage in price is known as unitary elasticity of demand. And next one is the various types of income elasticity of demand. Income elasticity of demand. Income, already we discussed this point, income and demand. What is the relation between the income and demand? It is the proportionately changing. Okay, if income is increasing, the capacity of the consumer um, purchasing capacity is increasing, so the demand of the product is also increasing. Okay, this is the relation. Okay, income and demand. Okay, the demand is varied proportionately changing the income of the particular product. Okay, that is called as the income elasticity of demand. It's classified into three types. One is the zero income elasticity, and second one is the negative income elasticity, and third one is the positive income elasticity. Zero income elasticity. Okay, it is represented the EY equal to 0. That means in this case, an increasing in the income, however, loss there no change in the quantity demanded. If necessary goods, for example, salt and sugar, these products are not will not X amount of products not purchasing. Okay, this called as a zero income elasticity of demand. Okay, the the graph is represented the vertical axis. Okay, at zero income elasticity of demand all through, and income increases from 0y to 0y1, the quantity demanded as a constant, not changing the quantity of demand. Every time we purchasing the our required amount of product, our required amount of quantity, we purchasing this type of elasticity. Okay, if our income capacity is increasing also, we're not purchasing the extra amount of product. That is called as a zero income elasticity. And next one is the negative income elasticity. In this case, the income is increasing, the quantity demanded falls. That is called as a negative income elasticity of demand. It is represented the EY equal to 0. Okay, simple example is inferior goods. If the income of the particular consumer customer is increasing, and the income of this customer is increasing, they prefer the quality of the goods they purchasing. Okay, not interested to purchasing the inferior goods. Okay, they also they interested to purchasing the luxury goods. Okay, in that time the inferior goods of these type of demand is decreasing. That is called as negative income elasticity. Okay, it shows that the negative income elasticity of demand, when the income increases from 0y to 0y1, quantity demanded decrease from 0q to 0q1. Okay, it simply says that EY less than equal to 0. And next one is the positive income elasticity of demand. Positive income elasticity of demand, it simply says that the income of the customer is increasing. Also the purchasing capacity is increasing. The particular product also, the demand of the particular product is increasing. That is called as a positive income elasticity. That's why it is represented the EY greater than equal to 0. In this case, an increase in income may lead to an increase in the quantity demanded. Okay, when income rises, demand also rises. Okay, this further classified into three types. One is the unitary income elasticity of demand, and second one is the high income elasticity of demand, and third one is the low income elasticity of demand. You just remember this one, EY greater than equal to 0. Whenever this condition is satisfied, that is called as a positive income elasticity of demand. In this classified these three types. Okay, first one is the unitary income elasticity of demand. In this EY equal to 0, that means the proportionate change in the income and also proportionate change in the demand of the particular product. That's why equally changing the price and demand and income. That's why it says that EY equal to 1. Okay, the percentage change in quantity demanded of a commodity is equal to the percentage change in customers' income, is known as unitary income elasticity of demand. Unitary income elasticity of demand is equal to 1. Okay, next one is the high income elasticity of demand. High income elasticity of demand means the percentage change in the quantity demanded of a commodity is greater than the percentage change in the customer's income. Based on the customer's income, if increasing the customer's income, but the price of the particular product is greater than his income. Okay, varied the income. So this is called as a high income elasticity of demand greater than 1. It is represented the EY greater than 1. Okay, coming to the graph, it shows that high income elasticity of demand, when demand increases from 0y to 0y1, the quantity demand also increasing from 0q to 0q1, but compared to this one is varied more. And the demand of the product is the product or commodity is more compared to q1. Okay, that's why it says EY greater than 1. Next one is the low income elasticity of demand. Low elasticity of demand is the it means that the percentage change in the quantity demanded of a commodity is less than the percentage change in the customer's income. Okay, the customer's compared to demand, the customer's income is more. Okay, that is called as a low income elasticity of demand. It is represented the EY less than 1. It shows that, coming to the graph, it shows that low income elasticity of demand, the income increases from 0y to 0y1. The quantity demanded also increases from 0q to 0q1, but the increasing in the quantity demanded is smaller than the increase in the income. Compared to income, the demand of the particular product is less than. That's why it says that EY less than 1. Okay, that is called as low income elasticity of demand. What are the factors influence the elasticity of demand? Already we discussed about the demand topic, nature of the goods, availability of the substitutes, and extents to use. Okay, consumers' taste and preference, income. These all the factors influence the elasticity of demand also. Okay, nature of goods. Goods can be classified into three categories generally. These are essential goods and comfort goods and luxury goods. Essential goods are generally inelastic, as the consumption of a necessary goods does not change in the price. Okay, where salt, rice, cloths, these type of goods, necessary goods. Okay, it's not depend upon the price. That's why it says that inelastic. Okay, and so the demand for the comfort and luxury goods, if income is more, in that time we prefer these goods. This is not a compulsory in our life. Okay, that is called as a luxury goods or comfort goods. That means uh, I want to buy the car. I have the more money in that time only. I prefer that car. Otherwise, I'm not prefer that luxury goods. Okay, diamonds or golds. This type of luxury goods not necessary in not compulsory in our life. Okay, they because they are the comfort and luxury goods. Okay, the demand of for comfort and luxuries changes much due to the price change, due to the price change, and it's therefore elastic. Okay, and second one is the availability of substitutes. The community having different substitutes will have the elastic demand, because the if price of the particular product is increasing, in that time we show that as alternative goods. Okay, that's why these substitute goods is the inelastic demand. Okay, third one is the extents of use. The commodity have varied of uses with elastic demand. The steel is the it is used in many purpose, but commodity have limited use will be inelastic demand. And also customers income and amount of money spent, range of the price, influence of the habit and consumes. These all the influence of the elasticity of demand. And coming to the topic, demand forecasting. Demand forecasting for existing products and demand forecasting for new products, based on the whatever it may be, either existing or new products. The demand forecasting refers to the just as an estimate of the future demand for the particular product. Okay, accurate demand forecasting is essential for a firm to enable to produce the required quantities at the right time and to arrange well advanced for the various factors of product. What is the demand forecasting? Okay, estimating the demand. Okay, future, whatever the demand upon our quantity, so that it will be forecasting. That will be very important to any business. Why we have to go for the demand forecasting? We have to understand the future demand. So what are the factors affect the future demand? What should be taken from the input? What should be the progress? What should be the expenses? Where we have cut down the expenses? How many employees recruit? So all these things related to the demand. Based on this forecasting, take the decision, exchange the business or slow down the business temporarily. Take the decision. This type of decisions will take in the demand forecasting. Okay, generally the demand forecasting is classified into three types. One is the survey method and statistical method, and the third one is the other method. In survey method, survey bias intention and collective opinion survey and Delphi method. And next one is the statistical method is the Navy method and moving average method and regressive regression method. Okay, and the third one is the other methods is the control experiments, experts opinions method and judgmental method. Okay, in this survey method, we go to the customer and each and every customers ask their opinion of the particular product. Okay, ask the quantity of the product, where did they buy the product, so total details of this product from the customer asking the by using survey method. Okay, statistical method just to calculate the taking the samples and apply these samples in a particular what is that formula, and we get the result. That is called as different statistical methods is there, and naive method, moving average method. This type of, for example, average of 3 years sales of product is calculating by using statistical method, and other methods also control experiments, experts opinion based on the um, experts, their opinions taken from based on this experiment, experts opinion who taking the decision. Okay, decide the demand forecasting. This is called the other methods. Survey bias method, the survey of bias intention involves the selection of the samples. Based on this survey method, it's classified into two types. One is the census method, and another one is the sample method. In this census method, each and every customer we asking the survey, or asking the questioning, that means they're asking their opinion of the particular product. Okay, this is called as a census method. And second one is the sample method, but compared to census method, sample method is the time taking process is very less and cost also less, because they're taking only samples, and not only consider each and every point, they consider the only few samples or few customers opinion taken this method. That's why time taking process is less, and less cost is less, but accuracy of this accuracy of this survey sample method is less compared to survey method, because each and every point is considered in census method. That's why accuracy is more in the census method compared to sample method. And next one is the collective sales and force opinions methods. Salesmen and sales representatives give their opinions from the particular commodity. Okay, from this demand forecasting. In this statistical methods also, some information use this statistical method, uh, different, and there's classified the different types based on this uses of different statisticals. And next one is the, sorry, other methods in this other methods. In this other methods is the experts opinion method. This is also called as a Delphi method. Expertising a particular marketing field, and these people we will the contact, and then taking the decision from these opinions, based on these opinions of the experts. Okay, this is called as the experts opinion method. And next one is the test marketing method. And test marketing method, we introduce the our product. This product can be introduced at a particular market, so in that market our product work out or not, based on we have to understand the demand forecasting the our product. This is useful to the new product or existing product. If we based on these opinions, uh, changes the existing product, and introduce the in the market for future demand forecasting. Okay, hello. And next one is the control experiments. Based on this control experiments, only possible for the new product. Okay, we introduce the new product here also, particular segment or particular area only. Okay, the in this control experiments we changing the price. Okay, if decreasing the price at a particular area, the demand of the particular product or commodity is increasing. Okay, in that after increasing the demand, in that time we changing the quantity of the product or price. That is our opinion. Okay, based these strategies they follow that increasing the demand forecasting of the particular product. Okay, this is the control estimates. Next one is the judgmental approach. In this judgmental approach, only management of the particular company or particular area decide the what would be forecasting. Okay, demand in that future decisions is taken the management people. Okay, this is called as a judgmental approach. Okay, already we discussed about these all types of demand forecasting. One is the survey method, another one is the uh, statistical method, and another one is the other methods. Okay. Similarly, demand forecasting for new products. Demand already we discussed about this new products. Some control experiments and a growth curve approach, evolutionary approach, substitute approach. Okay, sales experiments. Already we see that in market we buy the one product and get the one product. Similar, this type of new approaches is followed this for the new product of demand forecasting. Demand forecasting refer to the estimate of future demand for a product. Accurate demand forecasting essential for the firm to enable it to produce the required quantities at right time and to arrange well in advance for the various factors of production. Evolutionary approach, the demand conditions of the existing product should be taken into account while accessing the demand of new product. Okay, 3D TV from the color TV. This is the similarly substitutes approach. These types of forecasting is coming to this new product. Okay, uh, whatever it may be, new products may we introduce the new product in the market, or in that time we different strategies we follow. That means decreasing the price, or other products also attached to our product, and uh, give the limited price. Okay, the quality of the new product is high compared to the existing products. Okay, these types of strategies they follow the increasing the demand or demand forecasting in future. Okay, of the new products. Okay, these are the first all these what is the topics is covered in the first unit. Okay, see this one. In this first unit, cover the all these topics. First one is the managerial economics. What is the relation between managerial and economics? Okay, managerial is the it's covered the functions of management. Okay, already we discussed the last classes. Okay, that means the functions of the management is they simply it represents the post cop. We remember these functions. Post means post cop, POSD CORD. Okay, where P is the planning, O is the organizing, S means the staffing, and D means directing, CO means coordinating, R means reporting, and B means budgeting. These managerial functions is used in the economic theory, where increasing the demand or increasing the price. These manage these economics. Okay. Um, planning planning is the forecast future objectives, and Next one, organizing the people and organizing the grouping activities, assigning the duties. All these things happen in the organizing. And third one is the staffing and right person at right job. Recruit the right person for the right job. That is the very essential in the managerial economics, because there is no wastage of if you chose the wrong people in the particular job, we waste the time and money also. That's why staffing function is the very important in the managerial economics. And another one is the directing. A right person is directing the right way. In that time, we easily reach our goals. That is called as a directing. Okay. Um, Supervise and motivating the people, leadership qualities, and communicate the people. These are things the coming in the directing. Next one is the controlling. How to control the people, how to control the workers to achieve our goals. Okay, that's why we follow the rules and regulations in the institutions or companies. Um, that is called as a controlling. These are the following steps: standard performance and actual performance. Okay, corrective actions. These are the coming in the controlling. Next one is the coordinating. Coordinate the people. Each and everything. Okay, coordination is essential in the organization. Multiple and complex activities. Multiple levels management duties, span of control, coordinating the all these things in different groups in organization. Okay, uh, this function is coming in this coordination. Next one is the reporting. Each and everything is reported to the management people. Today, how much work is completed, what is the growing of the product. These report, based on this reporting, the strategies are changing. Okay, management reporting is specifically formed because important area information support management decisions. And next one is the budgeting. Budgeting is the completely based on the management people. um, Based on this budget, the whatever we're saying that in functions of the management, organizing, achieving, okay, directing, all these functions are the because money is very important to the coordinate the people's purchasing the raw material. Okay, purchasing machinery and recruit the uh, staff people. These all these things depends on the budgeting. Okay. Economics is the play a vital role in the individual life and progressive, because of the economics is simply says that one in a household person also maintain the some economic theory. And in business point of view, the sales products and increasing the demand, decreasing the demand, increasing the particular product, the demand is increasing price. These all the things deal with the in economics. Okay. Where to allotted and where it can be spent, where it can be invested. These all these things, all these things is coming in the economics. The basic definition is the how do people allocate the resource, produce the and less with less budget or less income, and produce the more profit. Okay, this is the main aim of the any business economics. Okay. Okay. Unlimited wants, scale resource, and alternative use of resource choice. These all these things, unlimited wants, because man having the unlimited wants, but resource or resource means is a salary based or whatever they having the product, that is the limited, but they want the unlimited. That's why based on the our salary we limitedly we using this based on the choice we using this resource limitedly. but చెప్పే కదా మీరు రిసోర్స్ని బట్టి ఇక్కడ మనకి ఇక్కడ వాంట్స్ అనేవి చేంజ్ అయిపోతూ ఉంటాయి అన్నమాట. economics classifications, microeconomics and macroeconomics. Okay. Microeconomics deals the small scale industries, okay, individual farms. These are this deals with the macroeconomics. Macroeconomics is the deals with the overall national wise and international wise. What are the state wise is deals with these macroeconomics. What are the our resource, manpower, okay, some particular goods having the some states, that is the their resource, okay, and importing material and exporting materials in the country. These all things they deal with the macroeconomics. And the definition of the managerial economics is it is the decision making. Decision making process is the generally deals with the managerial functions. Okay, it combination of the these two one management economic managerial functions and also economics. That's why it simply says that managerial economics. Okay, decision making of economic theory with business practice for the purpose of facilitating decision making and forward planning by the management. These all these things are nature and characteristics of managerial economics. Already we discussed about the process and what are the scopes of managerial economics. We applied these techniques by taking the decision making, input output decisions, price decisions, profit related decisions, investment decisions. These things applied to the techniques in managerial functions in the economics. We get the optimal solution of the problem. Okay, these are the scope of managerial economics. Okay, next one is the managerial economics. Related to the other subjects, the psychology, it is related to the psychology and accountancy, mathematics, um, operational research. These all these other related subjects. Okay, okay. And what are the roles and responsibilities of managerial economics? They sales forecasting, individual market research, environment forecasting. We business people's forecasting the our sales product, our environment forecasting. These are new business opportunities. Gather the new opportunities. They find out the new opportunities. Okay, analyze the competitive companies, investment forecasting. These things as a responsibility of the managerial economists. Okay, demand is the desire, but it's also able to buy the pay the money and will the pay the money. Who is the G6? Already we completed the first unit. Just whatever we cover the topics, that's why I telling this these topics. Okay, types of demand and G6 ఎవరు? G6. హలో, చెప్పండి.
సార్ చూసుకోకుండా ప్రెస్ అయింది సార్.
ఓకే ఓకే, ఆల్రెడీ మీకు ఫస్ట్ యూనిట్ కంప్లీట్ అయిపోయింది. అసలు మన టాపిక్స్ ఏం కవర్ అయినాయా అనేది ఒకసారి మనం చూస్తున్నాం. అది ఇంకా టైం ఉంది కదా అని చెప్పి. ఓకేనా, సరే. Okay, these are the different types of demands and productive goods and consumer goods, durable goods. The demands, and that means very long term goods is called as a durable goods. Okay, very short time we having that type of demand is a short time goods, and also they produce the goods is the type of machinery having also some demand, that is called as a producer goods demand. Consumers goods is the make to ready made foods also some demand, that is consumers goods. Okay, based on the time it's taking the classified two types, and durable and non-durable goods demand, and there are demand. These are these types of demands: short run, long run demands, total market demand based on the population. The particular goods having the geometrical area, they having the uh, product of the increasing the that product having the more demand, that is called as a market segment demand. Different determinants affected the demand, that is the price, income. Already we just now we discussed about these things: price of the product, income of the customer, taste and preference of the customers. These all these things, relative prices of the substitutes. Okay, if increasing the substitute goods prices increasing in that time, by the only our particular product by demand is increasing. If our product price is increasing in that time, increasing the demand of substitutes. Okay, that is called as a relative prices of substitutes and complementary goods. These all these types having determinants of the affected the demand. Okay, law of demand, all these things based on the price, demand is decreasing. This is called as a law of demand. Already telling that the price and the demand is inversely proportional. Demand is increasing, in that time the price is decreasing. Okay, if price is increasing, the demand is decreasing. This is inversely proportional. This is called as a law of demand. Expectations, given goods, some goods are not affected the law of demand, not affected the price. Okay, that is called as a given goods, Veblen goods. That means given goods is the if demand is increase, price is increasing, that's all, that time also not affected the different goods. Okay, if that means if price is increasing, the demand maybe it's increasing the demand, this type of goods. If demand is decreasing, in that time also they purchasing the this type of goods, that is called as a given goods. Veblen goods is the rich people do buying the they show the what is our prestige point of view, they buy the these particular products. Okay, does not depend on the price. This is called as Veblen goods or demonstration effect. Okay, okay. Look, elasticity of demand, just now discuss about these topics. Okay, thank you.